Alright, what is going on, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new 100% completion guide episode for LEGO Dimensions. Today we are, of course, continuing our very epic goal of trying to 100% complete the entirety of the game. Once again, if you guys enjoyed today's video, don't forget to drop a like. Let's go ahead and aim for 1,000 likes, and hopefully, eventually, we can hit that particular goal. Now, with that in mind, ladies and gents, it is time to head to the Phantom Zone. It's, you know what time it is. It's time to call the Ghostbusters. So that is exactly what we are going for here next. Of course, I hope that you guys will enjoy the video. You will notice that I already have 2 Minikits collected for this level. So once again, the number of Minikits that will appear on my end will be a little bit different. And I also have already the, what is it called? The rule breaker status achieved. So that's going to be another thing that I personally will have already completed, which on your end you most likely will not have completed. But I will be showing you where to get studs and get to that goal a lot quicker and easier. So with that being said, who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Let's do this. Bam 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 bam, ba ba bam bam bam. Let's do this. Oh man. What a fantastic time. I really still hope that at some point maybe we'll get a full-fledged Ghostbusters game. It would be so cool if they did that. I know that maybe there isn't enough characters for them to use, but we could get a whole bunch of different like ghost characters and such, so I'm sure they could figure something out and come up with an interesting way of tackling the Ghostbusters universe to make it into a complete game. Let me know, guys. Would you think that that would be a good idea? In the comment section below. Would you want to see a full Ghostbusters game be released at some point? Whoa, that was a spooky looking ghost. That blue one there.
Agreed. They look like they're coming from over there. Come on.
Alright. Ouch. Okay. Ice cream, anyone? I scream, you scream, everybody screams. Alright, so as soon as the level begins, we are going to just march our way to the left and destroy this Ghostbusters logo. It is one of 5 that we'll be destroying over the next little while, and technically I guess it's your first Minikit because you're working towards it, but at the same time, it's going to be a while before we get it, so keep that in mind that most likely this will be your first Minikit because this is the first one that you can actually collect. Now you will notice that for me it's actually just a blue stud because I already have collected it previously, genuinely just by mistake when we were making our way through the level for the very first time. That being said, we're going to collect that, and that will be our very first Minikit collected. Then, next up, right after passing through the giant wall of fire, so to speak, once you've done that, you're going to destroy in this corner the Ghostbusters sign. That is the second of the 5 that you can. You want to destroy pretty much everything in this vicinity because there's an incredible amount of studs that you can collect from all of these items around you. So just take the moment to do so, but do not be worried. I'll show you some spots where you can get a ridiculous amount of studs. So this level is very easy to get rule breaker status on, but I will still be showing you all the little spots where you can get extra studs because you can never have too many studs in this game, especially considering you got to buy red power bricks, upgrades for all your vehicles and gadgets, and there's only the ×2 multiplier in this game, so things are pretty expensive in terms of being able to unlock them in a relatively reasonable manner. So that being said, let's hop onto the Homermobile or any other vehicle that can interact with these grappling hook points, and this right here is another nice way to increase your stud count. So once again, if you try to time that correctly, that stud brick will go ahead and break apart maybe on, instead of the blue like I did, maybe one on purple, so you'll get even more studs than even I managed to score there. Alright, once again, you can do a little bit of clearing out of the way with additional studs all throughout here as well, which, once again, why not? It's just extra bonus points, so you might as well enjoy that as well. Alright, so next up, we are going to need actually Superman. I messed up here because I thought it was a tech panel, but it's actually one of those, like, X-ray panels, so you're going to need any character that has the X-ray ability, and you're essentially trying to create a closed loop on this electrical panel right up here, and once you've done that, and you've manage to actually loop the entire thing and properly close it and such, there are several points that you need to adjust throughout in order to make this thing actually function properly. But once you've done that, you are going to be rewarded with a Minikit right there and then. So that will be Minikit number 2. Yes, I know that for us it will pop up as Minikit number 3, but keep in mind I had 2 Minikits going into this, so that is why that is actually Minikit number 2. Now, what about Minikit number 3? Well, luckily it's actually right next to this one. All you need to do is actually summon in a character that can dig, such as the one and only Scooby-Doo. Oh, where are you? Let's do this thing right here now. So you're gonna go ahead and dig this out, which essentially has 3 different parts in order to resupply, or I guess get this thing, get this little taxi cab back to an operational status. So you're gonna put in the engine, then, or maybe that was the battery actually, then the roof of the vehicle, and then last but certainly not least, the front wheel. And once you've done that, the ghost-driven taxi is gonna make its way out of here, and in its place, boom, you get your 3rd Minikit. Alright, then we will transition just a little bit further ahead where the 3rd Ghostbuster sign will be in the corner right here. So you're going to obviously go ahead and clear that out. And you're also going to need a Spinjitsu activated character. So any character from the Ninjago realm will do just fine for this and will allow you to make your way to a very important area in this level. One area that we are not going to skip through. I'm actually going to show you all of it because we never got to see this when we were playing it in the main game, or I guess the first time that we played through the level, not 100% completing it. So this is going to be a completely new area with a whole bunch of cool stuff to unlock, including Minikits, and additionally to that, the rescue mission is done in here. And on top of all that, as if all that wasn't enough, you're also going to get a bunch of studs in here as well, which is pretty fantastic. Alright, so that being said, right up here, by the way, are the 2 lever systems that you want to pull in order to get back out to the main level. So even though you've entered this area, you do not have to permanently remain here. You will be able to exit on out and continue onwards. But for now, we got to focus on actually clearing out everything that's in sight. So once again, smash and bash your way to victory. You got to smash and bash everything in order to get a bunch of studs, because once again, rule breaker status is something that you are aiming for. And then right up here, you will be going for your first Minikit within this area. So let's start. All you have to do is actually magnetize these crates, and once you've magnetized them, put them into the color-coded positions that they need to go into. So the green goes to green, red goes to red, and blue, of course, will go to blue. So there's blue making its way to its proper position. Whoops, a little bit too further up. There we go. Push that down a little, and then red, last but certainly not least, will go into its position. And once you've done that, there it is. Your next Minikit will make its presence known to you. And once again, this will be 1 Minikit less than what it's actually showing. So that was actually the 4th Minikit instead of the 5th Minikit as it showed right there. Now, remember when I mentioned stuff about studs? Look at that. Our stud count is going up quick. Very, very, very quick, which is absolutely tremendous and fantastic to see. Now, next up, that is not going to actually stop at any point soon. We're actually going to call upon the one, the only, Mr. Emmett, the chosen one. He will go ahead and drill his way through this panel, which once again will grant us access to a stud brick that we can destroy in order to get additional studs yet again added to our collection. So you just need to try to time this better than I did in order to not just get silver studs, but hey, even silver studs are pretty good. So there's really not much to complain no matter what. Alright, so next up we're going to use the mage ability to get a few parts unlocked over there. And then last but certainly not least, over on this end, we're going to need to pull this little line and pull that out of its position in order to get even more pieces isolated. Behind that, there are a few hidden studs, so take the extra moment to collect those. There's over 6,000 studs in worth right there, so that's pretty nice. Well, that is if you have a multiplier. If you don't, then just divide that by 2. Alright, so now in order to assemble this giant bell right here, we have now gotten the ability from Wildstyle that we're going to utilize, which is the Master Builder ability. Again, you do not have to use just Wild Style. There are other characters that have Master Builder abilities. I'm just using the ones that you are most likely to have, like characters from, for example, the starter pack and such, because you're likely to have that. If you have LEGO Dimensions, you at least have the starter pack characters available to you. Next, you just need a vehicle, jump onto the ramp that we previously assembled, and ring that bell, which will now call upon the giant ship from down below. Look at this thing. Yeah, this thing is pretty terrifying looking, I'm not gonna lie. That is pretty crazy, that's for sure. That is a pretty crazy looking thing right there. And once it surfaces and properly floats on the surface, it will reveal on the side a little bit of an entrance path that you can now take. So that is exactly where we are headed next. Now we are going to need a grapple hook character for that, so we're going to grapple hook that position right there and pull the little staircase or whatever you want to call that assembly down, and now we'll be able to actually venture into the hull of the ship, which is an interesting area, I guess we could call it. Because it's full of like disgusting green slime. Yeah, this place is pretty crazy looking, that's for sure. Alright, so once again, over on this end, if you have Aquaman, you can go ahead and once again get yourself even more studs added to your collection. Again, you don't need to do any of this. This is not like out of necessity. As soon as you have rule breaker status, you pretty much don't need to focus on studs at that point. But I'm just showing you all the spots that you can get extra studs so that you can get those studs and utilize them in whatever way you see fit. So again, you might want to do this, you might not want to do this, so it's really up to you to choose. Alright, right here, by the way, in these doors, there are a lot of purple and blue studs that you want to collect, because again, they're really nice and valuable, and you can get a bunch of upgrades with that, and buy red power bricks and so on and so forth. So just take the few seconds that it takes to actually collect them, or at least I would recommend doing so. On the upper part of the staircase here, you'll notice that we're also going to create a little bit of a lever, I guess an assembly switch, which will reveal to us yet another mini kit that we will be able to access. Now, you want to obviously hop up there and actually get that mini kit, but at first I thought you could just fly up there and just like fly through. It's a little bit trickier than that. So like, I don't know how to explain it. Basically, like, you can definitely get up there and get the mini kit, but it almost feels like it is much more built for this little green lever that, or the little stick that shifts out right there that we're walking on, to be there to make that jump a lot easier for you. So keep that in mind. Although you can jump up there and fly up there like we did right there, it's a lot easier if you just jump using the little paddle right there that we were walking on before. Alright, so that being said, that was our, fifth mini kit collected. Pretty nice for sure. And once again, plenty of studs in that door over there as well. And now, guess what? We're gonna head over to the other side of things, destroy everything that we see in sight in order to once again get our stud count increased that much more. And you'll notice that this door right here is locked. We can't even break into it. Well, we're gonna have to do something about that because a certain Dana is actually trapped behind that door. So we're gonna need the assistance of the Delorean time machine, and we will be time traveling here. Whoops, nope, not that way. We will be time traveling, take two. This way. There we go. All right, that actually worked out this time. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, dum, dum, dum. We did it. All right, so making your way over to here. You're going to want to clear out everything in the bottom right corner there, and you'll focus on that more in just a moment's time. But for now, once again, if you want extra studs, even more can be had through this little machine right here. So once again, if you take the extra time for that, you can obviously time that better and unlock even more studs, and that's always nice. This staircase up ahead also has a lot of studs on it as well, so that'll be something that we'll be going for here in just a moment. So before we do that though, I think we can definitely, collect a few more studs over on this end as well, because hey, they're there and they're really simple to collect, so why not go ahead and do that as well. And now it is time to transform, into Wild Style, and next we need a character that can interact with the Batarang switch. So you can obviously use Batman, Wonder Woman, Gollum, there's several characters that you can choose from in order to get that done. Now, once you've done that, you'll notice that a little assembly piece will come through, which is the panel, the yellow panel for the Chroma Key Stone. Now, I have a little bit of a tough time assembling it there for a little while, but there we go, finally got it. So now we have one of 3 keystone components in place. So now we just need to find where is the red one and where's the blue one, and we can then actually get our keystone assembled as well. Alright, square in the center right here, you'll notice that if we flip this little panel, or this image I guess, we can now see what is the Chroma Puzzle that we need to do. So we need to get our base to light up orange on the right hand side, blue and square in the center, and purple on the left hand side. So that'll be something that we'll be tackling here in just a moment. But speaking of blue studs, you also noticed that there were plenty of those, or I guess speaking of blue studs, there were plenty of those up here. Now, next up, we're going to use up at the top right here, the bookcase will now be destroyed by Mr. Batso and Wild Style together, both of them kind of teaming up for that one. And now that we've destroyed that, we can once again get another part of our Chroma Key Stone puzzle assembled. That is the blue one. So all we need to figure out now is how to get the red one. So you're going to want to push this crate, or I'm not even sure what you would call that thing. It's like a little display case, I guess, more so than even a crate. And before you can push it any further, you're going to want to assemble the little checkered floor for it. But once you have that assembled, you can go ahead and actually push that thing on down, and it will actually crash down onto the floor, and once it does, it will reveal to you the final parts that you need, which is the red part of your Chroma Key Stone puzzle. So now that we have all the parts correctly assembled, and assembled for that matter, we basically once again just want to do it just as we typically would as a Chroma puzzle. So you have blue at the top, then in order to accomplish orange, you're obviously going to need to combine colors of yellow and red. So you're going to want to tag both characters onto the right hand side, and then for the left hand side, you need to combine obviously red and blue in order to derive at the color purple, which will allow you to complete the puzzle successfully. So we're going to tag that right there. So now we've got purple and blue figured out, as you can see in the bottom right hand side of the screen, and then there we are, orange and yellow have now been assembled and the puzzle has been resolved. Now that we resolved the puzzle, we actually get a Minikit for that, which is fantastic. So that is Minikit number 6, and actually before we can even leave this area, you do not have to again smash all the stuff upstairs here. That is something that once again you're very much free to choose whether or not you want to tackle. But one thing that you have to do before leaving is actually in the bottom right corner right here. You'll notice that that is a plant growing thing. Like it's basically just the ground that needs to be sprayed with water. So you could either summon in Aquaman like I did. You could use Krusty the Clown. You could use the Mystery Machine. Once again, even though I show you guys a specific character or vehicle that I'm using, there are always, or most of the time, there are other options that you can utilize. In certain cases, yes, there is only a certain vehicle that you can use. For example, for this time travel bit, only the Delorean has this ability, unless if you buy the red power bricks where all vehicles have this ability. So there's workarounds around most of the puzzles that we tackle. That being said, we now travel back to the future, I guess, right? And now that we have done that, you'll notice that now there is a giant plant that has grown its way in the path of that door, and now Dana has been rescued. So that is our rescue mission also checked off the list, and something that we now do not have to be worried about whatsoever. So once you've completed that, you are done inside this secondary area. There was a lot that we tackled. I mean, there was the inside of the ship that had quite a few items to offer to us, and then there was this area itself that also had quite a few items to offer to us as well. So all you want to do is, once again, as I showed you previously, pull both levers and you'll be able to make your way through back to the main level, or I guess just the main component of this particular level. So walking on through and making your way just a little bit further down after you walk back to the main level, you'll notice right here that you need to have a character that can mind control in order to take control of the fella behind closed doors over there. And one character that you could use for that would be the Wicked Witch. So I'm actually trying to remember who else has the ability for mind control. I can't remember now. I think that the Cyberman does, I want to say, and maybe a couple of others. So again, maybe you don't have the Wicked Witch, but you could use any other character for that as well. All right, so that was our 7th Minikit collected. Once again, 1 Minikit ahead because we started with 2 ahead, and I already showed you where to get one of the ones that I've repeated. So, that being said, making our way all the way to the right-hand side of the screen, you'll notice that right here is our 4th of 5 Ghostbusters logos, and jumping just a little bit further ahead is our 5th of 5, and you notice right there that I didn't actually get a Minikit, but instead I got just a blue stud, so that was your 8th Minikit collected. Jumping right to the next section, which is actually inside the Ghostbusters house, firehouse, and basically once you assemble this little drill machine right here, I wanted to show you that just so that it's not too much of a stark jump and you kind of have a pretty good idea of where we actually are. So once you have this fire drill assembled, you're going to go ahead and cut through the ground, and that will take you down into what I assume is the basement of the Ghostbusters firehouse. So once we drop through, you'll notice that right there's a cracked wall that requires a super strength character to break it. So you can use Wonder Woman for this, Superman, plenty of characters have this ability. So once again, smash your way through that, smash the little blocks in the front, and collect your 9th Minikit, leaving you with only 1 more Minikit to go. And that final Minikit will actually be collected in the final section of the level when you are fighting Zod. In the top left corner in the building there, you notice that there was a gold window. We melt that down, make our way in, and now you get to basically play Dance Dance Revolution crossed over with asteroids. You're going to jump up and shift your laser to fit the little asteroids on the screen. Once you've destroyed all 9 of them, you will then be declared winner. And luckily, this is not how video games work in real life, where it's just like, hey, you won, boom. That would have been terrifying. You get your 10th and final Minikit. In this room right here, by the way, there are a lot of studs to be collected, so if you still haven't got Rule Breaker at this point, which you probably should have, you can still destroy everything in your vicinity and get a few extra studs collected as well. And then after this, of course, you're just going to proceed back out of the room and finish out the fight with General Zod, which will allow you to complete the level successfully and wrap things up. Or, as I said before, you can always just hit the options button, press exit, and pick exit and save. The Phantom Zone will then be completed successfully to 100% completion. There is our stud count increased by over 500,000 studs in total, which is pretty spectacular. Like, getting 500,000 studs on this level is pretty awesome. And I didn't even destroy everything. So, like, if you really wanted to focus on it, you could get even more stuff unlocked that way. So you'll be getting a Rule Breaker status, of course, which also will give you a gold brick. The rescue mission of Dana will also give you a gold brick, and then the Minikit will now assemble themselves into some pretty cool looking little Ghostbusters vehicles, looking quite cool indeed. Extra studs rewarded for that, which is always really nice. Once again, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to drop a like. Let's aim for 1,000 likes. I earned 2 gold bricks because we already had Rule Breaker status. I'll catch all of you lovely folks next time. Peace out. See you later, alligators. Bye-bye, everyone.